So, to catch you up, and sometimes, I mean, this is a video diary, so sometimes I feel weird that I'm addressing an audience. It's also going on YouTube, so I guess it's both things. It's a video diary that I'm aware is for the public to view, so I'm addressing my audience as sharing my thoughts and experience as a diary. Um, when I plugged in the address for the marina to pick up the 2 pontoon logs, which was my next pickup, um, it looked like there was a pleasant mistake in my favor because the address was actually a little bit closer than Kenosha, and my ETA was 4:30. So I was like, great, that's comfortable. Then I called, and as soon as she said, "Can I put you on hold?" Um, I knew that there was going to be an issue, and the issue is A, the pickup location was further away by 45 minutes, 50 minutes further north. So my ETA went from 4:30 to 5:20, but it didn't really matter that much because that location is closed today altogether. Then I contacted the customer who said he was going to reach out and give them my approximate ETA, which I had said very specifically was today, Monday. And he said, yeah, I told them, and they said that wouldn't be a problem, and just show up, show us this paperwork, and you'll be good to go. They didn't mention it was a different pickup location. They didn't mention that that location was closed on Mondays. It was just, yep, get here, show us this paperwork, you'll be good to go. So, I have mixed feelings about this. It's definitely testing my um, my consistency with my statement earlier of I'm going to pick this up. I'm not going to jeopardize. I'm not going to decline an $1,100 shipment in order to show up for the pre-trial conference of a $7,000 lawsuit, which, by the way, if I was the one called in for the lawsuit, I think I'd show up because I wouldn't want to lose $7,000 just over not showing up. But I'm the one who initiated the lawsuit. It's against an insurance company that I feel should have paid out on a vehicle that was wrecked. I won't go into those details, but I still stand to, lose $7,000 I could potentially have gained by showing up. And that is one option because it's not even clear that these pontoon logs will be ready tomorrow because the location was closed, so they couldn't check. And so I could wait for tomorrow, and then they could say, oh, actually, we're not going to have them ready for a week. Supposedly, it would be a 2-day wait at the most, but that's according to the customer. And also according to the customer, I was good to show up today. And I'm not saying it's his fault that was inaccurate, but, obviously the customer doesn't know some things. And he said it will be ready within 2 days. Well, how do you know that? Because I thought that you knew it was going to be ready today. So why the 2-day figure? Like, why not just, oh, what's going on? I have no idea what to expect now. So I am taking a risk if I don't just start the drive. I could wait for the quote promise of $1,150 on a route that I am pretty much going anyways, and I'm like within half an hour of the pickup at this point. Or I could just say, oh, well, sorry, it was supposed to be ready for me. As much as I was pushing it late into the day, I was able and going to show up on time for the pickup at the address that I was provided. I was going to show up, half an hour before closing time, which is within business hours. It's a lot later in the business day than I am comfortable with, and then I try to make it to locations, but a a store should be able to accommodate someone showing up to pick something up half an hour before closing time. It's enough. It's not like I was going to get there at 4:55. So I am faced with the option of saying, hey, I'm going to let this $1,150 shipment go so that I can get down to Florida in time to show up for this pretrial conference and aim for that $7,000 that I feel I can make a very good case that I'm owed. Or I can just let that go and take my chances on the pickup being ready to go tomorrow. Because if it's not ready tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to want to wait longer. So I could lose out on both, and that's my main concern, is I could lose out on both, but everything's always a gamble all the time, because just because you show up for something doesn't mean that everybody else is going to. For all I know, the court could say tomorrow, oh, actually so-and-so isn't in, we can't do this. Not tomorrow, sorry, the following day. Which I think is a whole lot less likely than them saying, oh, sorry, the pontoons aren't ready to go. But, then again, 2 hours ago, I was saying, hey, winning this court case is a lot less likely than getting these pontoons picked up and delivered and knowing that I have that $1,150 coming in. And this is where either the overthinking or just the reflection comes in, and I think it's hard to determine what is overthinking and what is legitimate reflection on a scenario. There were a lot of reasons that I felt today that I should just call it off. Not call it off altogether, but say I'm going to have to postpone by a day. Just call up both customers who would be affected by that. One being the customer for the fryers that I did just drop off, but which I could have potentially protected a little bit better on the trip if I had taken more time. So that was one reason to postpone. There was a bunch of other stuff that I felt like I shortcutted, did not do the right way, so that I could get out sooner. And I don't like that. It used to not bother me. It's just like you do what you got to do to get stuff done, and move on. Don't worry about dotting the I's, crossing the T's. Don't worry about fudging it a little bit. Just do what it takes to get the job done. Don't worry about it. And now, I really would like to do things all the right way, and I don't feel like I've done that. And so that makes me think, there was something going on today. There was something going on where maybe it was just supposed to happen this way. Maybe I could have taken the cues earlier in the day and just said, hey, there's some things I got to do. There's some things I really should take care of properly before I go, and I'm not going to shortcut that. And so that means that I'm not going to make it to this pretrial conference, and that is what it is. Which is kind of where I want to be mentally. It's like I want to be in a place where I don't need to win this this lawsuit. And I feel like maybe, and this is like my spiritual background and belief system, though, more than just a background. It's like a belief system that I have not acted on for a very long time, where you do your best to do what's right, be a decent person, trust God, and just just sit back and watch as things go the right way for you. Not because you forced them, not because you held someone's feet to the fire, not because you forced somebody who wronged you to pay out on it. And that's based on the biblical teachings that I grew up with, specifically Jesus's teachings. I mean, you look at the Bible, you can find a lot of eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth stuff in the Old Testament. And I was raised as a Christian. Christian derives from Christ, and Jesus is the teacher, and the role model, and the guide for Christians. And what Jesus taught was very much, if somebody wrongs you, don't pursue them over it. If anything, be willing to give even more than was wrongfully taken from you. And trust that God will make those things right, and I don't have to, which is a really, really freeing thought. It's a really freeing way to live, and I know that not because the Bible says it or because Jesus said it. I know it because I've tried living that way. And yes, the reason I tried living that way is because the Bible said it and Jesus said it, and that's who I was taught to trust, and those are the teachings I was taught to trust. But when I decided to actually do that, I felt so much freedom, and I saw so many times things go right, even though I just let myself be wronged and didn't try to prove it anything, didn't try to bring anybody to justice, didn't try to force the right outcome. Just let it go, kept living my life, kept trying to love other people, and really saw how those things just melt away, and and how I don't need that compensation. I don't need the score to be even. I don't need it to be evened on my behalf, by a human system. I'm okay, and I'm living a better, more fulfilling, more fun, more enjoyable life for having let it go. And that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Like, maybe this is a scary thought, but maybe let go of both of these things. Let go of the pontoons, let go of the court case. Don't be in a needy position at all. I don't need either of those things. I am excited for this trip that I have embarked on. And this was kind of a really cool confirmation too, so let's just mix spiritualities here, because yesterday, I ate at a Chinese buffet, 1010 in Kalamazoo, right next to Menards. Great. I remembered going into it once before, and I remembered kind of not being impressed, so I almost didn't go back. But I wanted to go to Menards, and it was right in the same parking lot, and I was like, what the heck? There's a buffet. There's got to be something I'll like. It was fantastic. Still doesn't make the list of top 5 restaurants I've ever been to, which right down the road from it, Bangkok Flavor, the little Thai place in Kalamazoo, literally just almost across the street. That does make the list of top 5, and I also ate there this weekend. But I ate at a Chinese place. It was great. It was also very reasonably priced. I think $13 for a brunch buffet, which, I mean, at this point anymore, that's pretty darn good, especially with the amazing selection that they had. I got my fortune cookie, and it said you will soon make more nice memories through travel. And, I was like, that, a fortune cookie is a fortune cookie. It doesn't tell you what your life's gonna be necessarily. But that particular message at that moment put me in a mindset of being excited for the journey that I'm embarked on now, or that I was about to embark on at that time. And all that stress of like, got to build out the trailer, got to do this, got to do that, was kind of put into perspective by, I'm about to go on an adventure, and I'm excited about that, and I'm looking forward to making those nice memories, and I want to be in a mindset and in a position where I'm ready to receive, all the good things that are coming on this journey. And I want to be ready to receive the mystery of it. What is going to happen. I don't want to force it to be what I think it should be. I want to live an adventure, because it's been a really long time since I've just been on an adventure and felt it as that and experienced it as that. So right now, I'm in a mindset where I'm ready to just kind of let it go, see what happens. And I'm in a Lowe's parking lot right now. I backed under this light so that, there it is. I had to figure out which way to tip the camera there for a minute, so that I could potentially work on this deck as it starts to get dark here with my cordless drill and Sawzall that I bought. And I actually think, as I've been thinking about it more, I think I really could build my enclosed space there with just those two tools. Not 100% sure I want to put it to the test, but it's an adventure. I've got way more time than I expected, unless I do decide to just start driving to Florida without these pontoon logs, which is an option. And I'm gonna think on that a little bit as I go into Lowe's here. But this is where I am right now, so I'm gonna at least walk in the store. We'll see where it goes from there. But I'm gonna be working on kind of just letting the whole thing go. I don't need to build this right now. I don't need to pick up those pontoon logs. I don't need to make it to the pre-trial conference. I can just leave on this adventure right now. I can build it. I can do whatever the heck I want. So, I'm really fortunate that I have money in my business account. I have money in my personal account. I just got a payment for the fryers that I dropped off. I have a whole bunch more paying things. I think I have $2,000 between here and Florida, even without those logs. A little bit less, because part of that was, so maybe $1,500, which is above the $1 a mile that I look for. I'm in a great place and I'm thankful. So it's really cold out there. I could build this darn thing at a Lowe's in Florida where it's 75 degrees. If I decide to stay here for the night, then I might as well build it here. The world is my burrito, and I'll take it one thing at a time.